Hi everyone, Nirvana Nail Person. So today is Saturday, October 8th, if my phone cooperates with me, which, wake up, there we go. Snapchat eats up the memory on my phone, so just an FYI. So anyway, I wanted to share this week's makeup basket with you. I have some new products I wanted to share, and just give you little mini reviews and my thoughts about a new technique I tried this week and I liked. So please subscribe, and I will leave my the little link here for the PC Mac users and a click on below for those on mobile devices. So let's talk about what I use. So first off, for face, still powering through either the Stila Stay All Day Illuminating BB Balm or the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow 203. Both have just the teensiest bit left. So because I'm using two products, it's taking longer. So one thing I discovered this week is that if you take your beauty blender and dip it in your setting powder, so for me I'm using the Laura Mercier setting powder, so if I use that to set my foundation, yes, I set my BB cream as well, that's what I have on today, I really like the finish of it. So I'm using a product up, it's finishing nicely, and I'm really impressed. So the damp beauty blender and dipping into the loose powder, I like the results. So just an FYI, I think I'll give credit. I want to say it was like maybe Jaclyn Hill. I think I saw that in her video. I know it was a big YouTuber that I stumbled across and mentioned this, and I said, oh, I have that. So tried it, and I really do like that. So it does work. Another product that I'm almost done in using, and I thought I'd mention, is the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer, the anti-aging one, and I'm like a few uses away from finishing this as well, and I really liked it. I do double up as far as eye primers go. I tend to use the Urban Decay, and then another product, sadly, that's I'm going to have to get rid of is my MAC Painterly, and it's just so dried up. I mean, you can see it's even cracking again. And I did the mix tip that I learned from YouTube, where you just take it and mix it, and it mixes the oils in it throughout, so it revitalizes it. But I've done that a couple of times, so unfortunately I think this is it for Painterly. So I tend to use that, the Urban Decay, a little bit of the Painterly sometimes, and then of course setting it down with the Wet n Wild Cream Brulee, which is also, I've hit horrible pan, it's chipping. Love that as a base shadow. And I'll get to a minute why I'm using so many bases. Also on my face, I've been liking this Bare Minerals Bare Skin Coverage Serum Concealer, and really liking this. I can use it on its own. I've used it on its own today. When I refer to using it on its own, that means I'm not using my Tarte CC Under Eye Corrector. So I'll never get rid of those shadows with any corrector. So they're always going to peep through. So I think this is still pretty good though, and it won't crease up too much. I pulled out Naked Skin concealer, and I thought, because I wanted to use a concealer rather than the CC Tarte concealer, because it's really a corrector rather than a concealer, but really it's both. It's a matter of opinion. But this Naked concealer in Light Warm is actually too light for me. So I think the product must run really, really light. So you can see right there, I mean, it's kind of light. And when I rubbed it, you know, patted it into my eyes, it did nothing. So actually the last few days I've been using it more like a highlighter. So I'm going down my nose and you know, in the crucial areas here. So I want to use it, but I just think it's too light for me. Where is it? I just put it back. I mean, when you look side by side, you can see that the Bare Minerals is slightly darker, and this one's slightly lighter toned. But they're both light, so I don't know. And I think this is the warm version too. I don't remember what I got. It just says light. So this is light, warm, and this is just light. I don't know. Don't get it. But I do want to use up products. So as far as eyes go, today I actually have fake falsies lashes on, challenging brown-eyed girl Charisse, where we're forcing each other to try on and wear our lashes. So that's why I don't have much of makeup on, because it was enough of a struggle for me to get these guys on. But on the daily, I've been using, you know, I have quite a few mascara samples. I pulled out the Benefit They're Real, and I was never the biggest fan of this mascara. It's a little bit thick, and it has that crazy tip on the end with the, I don't know. I don't think it really helps for my little tiny lashes. And then I also pulled out Dior Show mascara. It's just Dior Show. And it was an interesting packaging in that it doesn't twist, it just pulls. And it has this humongous bristle brush, or, you know, what would you say, your standard brush. And it's very big for my little tiny eyes, so I did struggle a little bit in using it. But I kind of like the mascara. It's a wetter formula, so that's a plus to me. So I'm done with this Benefit mascara, but I think I'm going to hold on to the Dior Show for another week and try it out. So for face, just to wrap up, I did use the Hourglass Ambient Surreal Light Edit. Ambient Lighting Edit Surreal Light. So I think this was a limited edition palette. It looks like that. So it has a setting powder, it has a bronzer, it has a highlight, and 2 blushes. And basically this is what's on my face today. I used a little bit of the setting powder, the bronzer, the highlight, and this blush. And I actually used the bronzer and highlight on my eyes as well, because because of the false lashes, I didn't want to go too crazy with the eye look. So just a little bit of highlight and darkness from the bronzer. So that's it for my eyes and on my face. So thoughts on this palette. I like it, but I don't know if it pulls too warm or something, because I don't have too much on, but I noticed that during the week that I appeared to have a lot more warmth. And when you try the setting powder, I mean, it's not too warm. It does look like a setting powder. So, I mean, maybe there is a little color in there. You know, come to seeing it in the camera, I see there is a little bit of warmth there. So it is probably coming from the setting powder. So it's kind of strange that it would pull that shade, but on my skin, I don't know. So I think it's very expensive for what you do get product-wise. I'm sure if we broke it down, and I'm sure there's probably YouTubers out there who've broken down the cost per pan, but you do get the setting powder, which is different. So it's nice. I would probably use it in rotation with other products, but this is my second Ambient palette, and I think I like the first one better. So, just saying. So this is the Ambient Surreal Light, and my thoughts on it. So I did use it, but I will use it in the future as well. Just not a fan. I think I like I said, the first one better. Now for eye looks, I pulled out and this is the first time I'm using it, the Serpentina palette from Kat Von D. And of course, as I've expressed prior, these are shades that are definitely out of my comfort zone. So, yeah, it was a struggle for me during the week. I did pull off some looks, but I did pull out which I always have in my basket anyway, the Naked Basics palette. So I use that in the crease and to highlight and whatnot. So, yeah, it's very important for me to have like a light shimmery shade. So use that in my daily looks. And then during the week I also used this palette, and I did even break out the pigment as well, because I found these colors to be quite dark. So originally I started with this shade, which is Medusa, which is like a goldy, taupey gold with shimmer. And it does clearly have shimmer in it. You can see it more in this blackish brown Ankh shade. But Medusa, let's just try that. You can see it's quite deep. So even on its own, it looks lighter in the pan, but I think it's because the backdrop is in the shade black, or, the packaging is black. So it appears lighter in the pan, but when you put it on your eye, it's quite deep. So it's quite a smoky look for everyday wear. So basically I paired this shade, this gold shade, with the green in a look or two. I think it's Scarab. Yeah, it's Scarab. So it's a beautiful combo, but again, out of my comfort zone. And then because I didn't have the matte really blending shades, I did use, like I said, from the basic palette, the brown shade, but I pulled in some of this blood milk as well, just to warm it up. So it's like a burgundy red shade, and a different look. I'm on the fence about this palette. I did, like I said, pull out the pigment because I felt it was the lightest of the shades, so I'll just swatch that here. So you can see it definitely lighter, because this is Medusa and this is the pigment. The pigment is called Prophet. So all in all, I'm not very happy with this particular palette, only because I'm the one who's afraid of color. I mean, as far as wearability and blending, I didn't really have too many issues with that. But the colors are out of my comfort zone, and that's why I'm not wearing it today. Playing with lashes, I knew I would have a struggle. So that combined with the colors, I know I'd be smudging and whatnot. So that's why I don't have it on today. I would have worn something, but thought better of it when I had lashes. I wanted to play with lashes today. So overall, I don't think I'll be using this palette this much. I want to get better in the future at deciding if I'm going to use and keep a product, but unfortunately I've had this a few months and I'm really bad with keeping receipts. So I will keep it because I do like Kat Von D in my collection. Hopefully I can incorporate it into some looks in the future, but for right now I don't think I'm going to be using it too much. So that's that. And then finally for lips, this is what I basically kept in my pocket of my purse. I usually try to keep in a liquid lipstick that's long wearing, and a lip liner, and some type of lipstick, a more hydrating lipstick, an everyday lipstick. So right now I have on Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is in the shade Naked, and it's a liquid lipstick, so it's a true nude. Probably could have used some liner because it's so light, but I did pull out this shade because I knew I would be using a palette that was very colorful, so I didn't want too much contrast between, or rather I wanted to keep, the focus up rather than, the eyes and the strong eyes, strong lips. So wanted to use a nude shade, so this way just my eyes would be the focus. So I really like this shade. It's comfortable, it's long wearing, it doesn't give you too much of that bunching when you apply additional product. Not saying that it doesn't, it does, but if you apply it very carefully and maybe blend in a little balm as well, you'll get a better application, I would say, which is what I did today. I actually had a little bit of the balm on. I keep this color, it balm from, I think it's Birchbox brand. It's Arrow Boost, and it's just like a chapstick, but it matches your shade to your body temperature. So I had a little bit of that on and then threw this over it, so it's a little bit more comfortable because of that. And then I've been keeping Kava by Bite Beauty in my purse as well, because it's something I want to use up. And it did get all disgusting because it did fall out of my purse and stayed in my car during a hot day, so it did melt a little, but it's extremely hydrating, and they don't make it anymore. So it's just this beautiful, 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 like a cooler nude shade. So, you know, depending on the look I was wearing, you know, this Anastasia was a little bit warmer and Kava was a little bit cooler. And additionally, I was playing with, this is a newer lipstick I got. This is Lolita 2 in the bullet form. So beautiful gunmetal packaging. Usually it's in the black plastic packaging. This is in gunmetal. And Lolita 2 in a tube. And I have to say it's a little bit lighter in the tube. So it's definitely a different look. Not the same look you'd get out of using the liquid lipstick Lolita 2. So I'm happy to use another matte lipstick, and it's a great warm shade. So I had a good range of color, and also kept my Rimmel London Innocent lip liner pencil. So that changes the look of some shades when you combine it with Kava or the Anastasia Naked, so it's a little bit deeper. So that, and wrapping up with the Ulta Makeup Setting Spray. Not loving this, but I'm using it up, and I think the mister on the other one that I had was just a little off. It's still very, there's still a lot of droplets in it, but I'm using it up. So would I recommend it? For the price point, you could probably get, with those coupons, you know, and they have, like with Ulta deals, like buy 2, get 2 free, which is, I think, how I wound up with this. So I got it for a good price. I think it was like under $5. Maybe it was $2.50 by the time I spent with the coupon and everything. So still a good deal for a setting spray. It's almost done. So that's it. If you have any questions, let me know, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.